to be given the opportunity to come here tonight and to share with you just how much this program has changed my life, how passionate I am about it, how much it's inspired me and all of those that I come around, and hopefully to be able to pass some of that on to you with other people's words that have inspired me and a few of my own. It's just my prayer tonight. Becky's going to appreciate that I have an acronym of my own that I'm starting out with tonight. You know, in the line of work that I'm in, we talk about ATP and how crucial it is in providing real energy. You know, there are a lot of products out there today that give you a short burst of fake energy, and we string ourselves along all day on them. But we really need ATP for real energy, and there's a different kind of ATP that we need for a real body for life experience, and that's attitude, tenacity, and planning. I'm talking about unbelievable attitude, unstoppable tenacity, and persistent perseverance planning. And sometimes we have to go through something more than once. I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, but I'm sure several of us attempted a Body for Life challenge, didn't get through it, and maybe had to attempt it a second time, or maybe a third before we actually got it. You know, we can watch people go through something and it makes sense, and we can go through it with them and it might make a little more sense, but eventually when we have to go through it on our own, and we have our own real experiences when we really get it. And my first real experience, my life-altering experience and attitude was in the summer of '98. I had ruptured my Achilles tendon twice in the same summer. And I had all 5 of my children at the time, and the youngest one was just a little over a year. And I was having a huge pity party for myself on the couch in our living room. And I was crying, and I was angry, and I was depressed, and I was frustrated, and I was asking God how he could be picking on me like it was his choice that got me there and not my own. And I turned the television on, and there was a professional football player in a wheelchair, and he had sustained a life-altering injury. He was paralyzed for life. And he was in that wheelchair, and he said, "I'd rather be a better man than a better ball player." And this wheelchair makes me a better man. I felt like a jerk. Talk about attitude. I mean, this person was never going to walk, not going to play the game that he loved, and he could sit there and say he was thankful to be in that wheelchair because of the man that it had made him. Now, that was powerful, and I thought, wow, and it got me through that experience of having to rehab and get through my Achilles tendon rupture, but it wasn't something that really stuck because I observed it, and I had experienced it just a little bit. But it wasn't until later that I really got it. And I think that happens with a lot of us. In 2003, I did my first Body for Life challenge, and I felt like I was at my rock bottom at that point. We had moved 11 times in 16 years. My husband lost his job. I thought we were looking at, financial destruction, another move, and I was at my wit's end. I gained weight, and I was depressed and didn't have a lot of hope. And I did the Body for Life challenge. It was the one thing that I could grasp, that I felt like I had control over. I couldn't control what was going on with his work. I couldn't control if we had to move, but I could control what I put in my mouth. And I could control if I got up and exercised or not. And so it gave me a whole new life. And that was just the beginning. I think a lot of us, we experience and we understand that. So I looked back at the first challenge and was pretty proud of myself, but I knew that I really, if I wanted to get real, had only applied myself about 70%, taking a few extra free days, skipped a few little workouts, So I thought, what would happen if I really applied the 110% that I know I have? So I did my second challenge. And it was in the midst of that challenge in 2004 that I got another real shock of what unbelievable attitude is. I go online frequently, or not frequently, occasionally, and read the guest book. I bought my first journal, my success journal, and it mentioned on there of this Body for Life site and the guest book and how you could support other people, and I thought I'd go check it out. When I got on there was always this little burst of positive energy. It never changed. She was amazing. And I thought one day I'm just going to email her and just try to give a little bit back to her of what she gives to this community with this unbelievable attitude. When she emailed me back and shared her story with me, I sat there in disbelief, because you would never know from her post in the guest book the battles that she had overcome and the one that she was in the midst of fighting. And that was Julie Witt. And we only emailed each other a couple times. Like I said, I didn't get online very much, but she changed my life in just a little bit that I was able to experience with her.